Hey guys, welcome back. I've got a John Deere Sabre lawn tractor in the shop here. This one needs carburetor work. It's got an older Briggs & Stratton engine with the older Walbro type carburetors that are much better, I find, than the new Nicky carbs that you see on all these single cylinder engines. Now this machine here is getting fuel in the crankcase where the oil is in your engine. It's filling it up. It's causing a hydrolock and the machine runs poorly. So what I want to do today is show you how to fix that problem instead of replacing the carburetor, and you won't have that problem anymore. And here's the machine, Sabre, made by John Deere. These were actually super well built, guys. Now there's been a lot of work done to this machine here, and this little problem has cropped up just lately. Now this is my neighbor's machine, by the way, so we've already drained the oil and I added a fuel shutoff valve so that he could finish mowing his lawn right away. So if you get an issue where you check the oil dipstick here and the level is really high, higher than it should be, and it smells like gas, and your gas tank is probably empty, then what you need to do is take this carburetor off and put a new needle valve and seat in it. Now if you don't want to do the needle valve and seat, let's say you can't afford it or you don't know how, what you can do is drain your oil, put fresh oil in there, and just use a shutoff valve every time you use the machine. So basically you turn the valve on, use the machine, when you're done, turn it off. The only problem with this is if you forget to turn it off, you may have another crankcase full of gas again. So today I will show you how to do this. This will be a step-by-step video, and I'll start by taking off the carburetor. First, I need to remove the air filter. Next, there is a small bolt here. It's 5/16. And now you'll need to remove the two 7/16 nuts right here. Now in this one here, there is a crankcase vent hose connected right to this bracket. If the O-ring is stuck on the carburetor here, it goes. And next I'll disconnect the fuel line. And I do have a fuel shutoff valve on this machine so the fuel will not leak. Now you'll need a 5/16 socket to get these two bolts here that are actually holding the carburetor on the intake manifold. And you'll need to disconnect the solenoid here. Okay, this is the choke lever, this is the throttle. Now you want to get this linkage out of here, out of the engine. I usually take it out and just sit it back in here. This is the spring that should be connected right here. It's kind of bent. Anyway, I'm just going to pop it out of here. I'll just air blow this carburetor here before I start off. Now what I need to do is remove the solenoid. I've ground down a 1/2-inch wrench. I've done that in a previous video to show you how you can do that. Now there will still be a bit of fuel left in your carburetor. You might want to drain that. And this carb is a bit dirty inside. I will replace the bowl actually and clean this off when I'm done the job here. So the first thing you want to do here is remove the float. And you'll have to get the small pin out here first. And the parts I'll be replacing today is the needle valve here and the seat right here. You can see the seat is discolored. Now since I'm going to clean this carburetor, I will remove this small jet on the side here. Usually it's a flathead screwdriver you need for this, but this one is hex. It's a bit awkward here. So you want to make sure this is clean. It does look clean, by the way, but I do want to take out the emulsion tube in here and clean that at the same time. So I'll just take it out quickly here to make sure they're clean. There's usually 2 parts in here, I believe. Okay, so it's just this one piece here, and I'll run this on my wire wheel to make sure it's clean. It is clean on the inside. All these side jets look clean. The machine did run perfectly, by the way, even though there was a bit of corrosion in the bowl. And I'm also going to replace this O-ring. All right, I'll just spray it with carb cleaner and put it back in. And by the way, I'm using a gunsmithing screwdriver for this. These are the best for carburetor jets. And I'll leave the little side jet out until I'm done the installation of the seat. I've got the carburetor here in a vise to make it easier to work on it, and I put some cardboard in between it. So what I've got now is a 1/4 inch by 20 tap, and then I just go in and thread the inside of the seat. And what I'm going to use next is basically a homemade tool, a bolt and a nut, 1/4 by 20, a socket here, a cheap socket that I grinded down on the grinder so that it fits perfectly right here. Then what you need to do is bring the nut back on your bolt, put it through here like that, and then you screw in the bolt into the seat. So screw your bolt in at least a 1/4 inch in there. But before I go further, what I want to do here is examine just exactly how deep the seat will go in the carburetor. So before you take it off, take a note here of how high the seat sits above the carburetor base. So it's very, very little here, because when you put the seat back in, you don't want it to go deeper than what it already was before. So I'm going to put the tool back on, tighten up the bolt, and then all you have to do is tighten up the nut here. And what that will do is pull the seat out. Sometimes you can just grab like vice grips and pull it right up if you want. Today I'm just going to do it this way to show you how this homemade tool will work. So basically it's a tiny puller that you've made, and as you tighten up the nut, it will pull out the bolt and the seat all at once. See? It works perfectly all the time. And now what I'll do is blow some air in the fuel inlet just to clean any metal shards. And here are the 2 parts you will need: the needle valve. Here's the part number. And here's the seat, 690, 577. These part numbers will be in the video description. Now, before I put the new parts on, I'm just going to clean around the base here. Now, you guys probably saw one of my recent videos where I replaced a carburetor on a Kohler engine on a lawn tractor that had the same problem. And the reason why I replaced the entire carburetor on the Kohler is because I could not buy the seat separately. You had to buy the whole carburetor. And now I can insert the seat. And what I used to put the seat in is just a small tool like this. Here's a part number on this tool. 815990 from OTC. I tried finding this online, but I couldn't, but maybe in your area you can. This small tool can easily be made on a lathe. If you don't have this tool, you could use a bigger punch than the seat itself and just tap it in that way. You don't necessarily need this. This kind of helps you to stay inside the seat. So now what I will do is just hammer it in, very lightly of course. And I gotta watch that I don't pound it in deeper than what the original was. One more tap. And that's just pressed fit in there, it'll never come out. And I do highly recommend that you use original Briggs parts for your carburetor like this. If you use the aftermarkets, they sometimes don't fit in as well and you may have a leak. Also, I do recommend that you replace both parts at once, not just the needle valve, because you may still have a flooded engine crankcase. Now to get the new needle valve in, just grab your float, stick it in right here, just like that. Get it in the seat. Get the float pin on. And I've got the small side jet, and I'm just going to run a torch tip cleaner in it, just to clean it up a bit. So what you want is to be able to see through it. Now don't lose this jet because your engine will not run properly without it. And here's the carburetor bolt kit I'm using for this. It is part number 495933. It does come with a bowl nut, but you will not need it because on this carburetor here there is a solenoid. Now I'll get this on. And before I go further here, some of you guys are wondering, do I need to pressure test this carburetor? Well, you can if you want, and I'll do it right now. Basically, by pressure testing, you're checking to see if the needle valve is working good. So I've got the carburetor upside down, and that's what you got to do with your 4-cycle carburetor. It's not like testing a 2-cycle carburetor. I'll just pump it up a bit. So about 5 or 6, and it is holding. And once I lift up the float, the needle will go down. So it's holding good. And now I'll just put the new bowl on. Now this solenoid does have a metal washer, but I am still going to put the cardboard washer on. Tighten this up. Okay, now I'm going to get all the linkages back on, get this one in the throttle lever, and the spring that's on the linkage goes in this hole right here. And I'll put the choke linkage in this hole, run it through here. Get those bolts in. Now you'll need your 5/16 socket. And I always check to see how the choke is working before I put things back together. So on this machine here, I'm just going to bend this tab forward a bit. I just want the choke to be just on more tightly when I've got the thing wide open. Now it's on really tight. Okay, so I need to put the engine crankcase vent back on this part. So basically you just shove it in and it stays in there like a grommet. get the two nuts on here. And I'll get the small bolt here started as well. Cover back on here. Now I'll turn that fuel valve back on. Okay, let's try this out. You know what? I forgot to connect the solenoid. There's always something that I forget. Alright, this is all you have to do, guys, if you get this problem. Also, it's not a bad idea to have a fuel shutoff valve regardless of what you fix. I was a bit surprised when I saw this engine here that this is a Vanguard engine with a cast iron sleeve. This is when they used to make good overhead valve single cylinder engines. These are much, much better than the new stuff. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope the video has helped you. And remember, you can do this on most single cylinder Briggs engines with a Walbro carburetor. That's what this machine had. The Nicky carbs, not so good, not so repairable as the Walbro ones. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and please make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.